Hey, hey. Yeah. Hi, everybody. Babazani wo. Hi, this is how it's going. How has it been going? I suppose a lot's changed, and part of it has been like a huge journey of like settling in. But I think I just want to rewind to like the journey to where I kind of am right now, which is why I'm saying that it's more so like a reflection rather than like a life update. Because quite mind you, as I'm just speaking about in my speaking, I am reflecting. It's not uthi mhlambe I planned it out, whatever, ngikhuluma okusenhlizweni and what I actually remember and ukuze kufike to this point. So yeah, that's basically it. So depending on how long you've actually been a subscriber to my channel, watching my videos, because some of you watch my videos but you're not really subscribers. It's not something I want to talk about right now. I was at home for a greater part of this year, and when I was at home, I suppose uthi I was experiencing a lot of hard knocks every few weeks or so, right? And it got to a point where it just made me feel like something's up, like with my life in general. And I think the first point that I actually want to speak about is actually just creation or content creation in general, right? Depending on how long you have known of me and seen my content on other social platforms, i.e. Twitter or Instagram or whatever, you'll realize that one thing about me and those platforms is that I have been very consistent at being inconsistent, right? So the reason for that part is something that I only just realized sometime this year, where I just didn't want to create content anymore. For a long time, I've actually known what my purpose is, and through that, I channeled my purpose through how to. How to is that channel that I created to teach you guys how to create content and then stopped. It's some of the content that I still have that lives on this channel. And I think it's more so the content that you guys started to know me from. What I believe my purpose is teaching. I think that's the purpose I've been put here on earth for. It's I suppose teaching, and then in of itself, it's helping people. And then how do I want to help people? Is by teaching them how to create content, or teaching them storytelling, if I can put it that way. The reason why I used to create content was because I wanted to show people that I could and that I was good at it. And once I got to a point where I felt like people know that I know how to create good quality storytelling, evoking kind of content, I was like, there's no need for me to be creating content anymore. The big idea was always to teach and help, right? So then I stopped having that lo mdlandla for creating for myself. And that gave birth to me wanting to create for other people. Hence why now I shoot video and take photos. I have a great eye. I pay attention to detail, and I'm a person who's constantly learning. All of these things I feel lend themselves to the fact that I feel the need to share that information, to teach, and to create for others, or produce content for others. I truly feel like I'm living my purpose when I do it for others, when I teach others, when I create and produce content for others. So Instagram and Twitter and the like, ngivalile. Sengiposta ngoba ngithandile, literally, like for the sake of it, honestly. But however, YouTube, I'm happy. This is sort of like an outlet for me. I like being here, I like talking here, I like creating here. I love the editing. So if you thought that that part of content creation I'm checking out, I'm not. Isa corner. Throughout this year, I have been having a lot of, I suppose, internal conflict and having to make like certain decisions where I suppose I could say that they were and are life-changing. When I was at home earlier on this year, a lot was going on. I was depressed quite a bit, and I really felt like I needed a drastic change, and it was like an overwhelming need for this drastic change. Like I just felt it like in my heart of hearts, and I did want to move to Johannesburg for like a very long time. COVID happened, and I was like, how am I going to make it work? How am I going to take care of my family, do my job, and there were a lot of things in J that occupied my mind that prevented me from actually making that move. But sometime this year, I just had that overwhelming need, and it manifested itself into me even breaking down right here. I'm really sorry guys if I haven't been able to show up, hey? But right now I'm like, I can barely show up for myself, you know. And as much as I do know that creating would give me so much joy, but I don't have that joy right now. I don't have literally anything in me that wants to do anything, you know. And I think each time I tell myself, hey, I'm gonna do this, I feel like, yeah, I'm gonna do that, and I'll feel better, you know. But literally I'm dragging myself through life, like currently, you know. I'm an anxious mess. I am wallowing in self-doubt and self-criticism, and I'm just like, yo, like, so kanya, you know, yo, it better be worth all of this, because I'm really, I can't show up. I can't. Yeah, so that happened, right? And I suppose it was a turning point for me where I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna take a crack at it and go. And so I took a crack at it. Was a difficult task, because I think for the most part it was like, am I actually capable of doing this financially, and even so, like emotionally or mentally, because I am a person who's prone to, I suppose, deep sadness every so often. And it's even to a point where like my mom doesn't like me being isolated from people, because she knows I take dips, emotional dips, sadness dips. However, I just felt like also this drastic change was going to be good for like my growth as well. And there were obstacles even in like moving, from the fact that my 9 to 5 is based in Durban, to that, do I have the financial means? Will I have the emotional support? Am I strong enough? When I weighed it out, it just seemed that however uncertain it is, Uguti, with my move, it was just a lot better than what I was feeling at that time. I then moved and just thought that things got better. After I moved, they did it felt like it was a new horizon. So there was that sort of, you know, light at the end of the tunnel, except it was not that much of like a bright light. It was more like a flicker. However, the one great thing that came out of my move was how I honed in on gratefulness. I'm just so truly grateful. Before I left home, I was just chilling, watching TV or whatever, and then all of a sudden I just felt the urge to pray, right? And then I prayed, and I was just basically thanking God the whole time. That's all I did, was be grateful for everything I have and everything I've achieved thus far, And for me, that's a lot, considering that I was in a space where I was like, okay, why am I not getting, And I think I didn't give myself that opportunity to be grateful, So when I had that overwhelming feeling to pray about gratefulness, and appreciating everything that God has given me, I was in tears, crying, just because konke lokhu kungamandla akhe, hayawami, What I've done and the move that I've made is not by my own power or strength or capability, but it's ukukhonza uNkulunkulu and being faithful and understanding that His grace has brought me this far, so why would it fail me, So I think a lot of things changed with my move, because I felt like in everything that I did to contribute to my new space, how I take care of it, etc., was me essentially thanking God for the fact that ungiphile lokhu and ungiphile amandla for me to be able to make this happen, above all the obstacles that I experienced in trying to make this happen. And I kid you not, that everything from the fact that I be cleaning all the time now, and if you knew my mom would tell you about clean and when I was at home. But now I do it by choice. I find nobody else will clean my place if I don't clean it, but I do it with love. I do it with joy. It's not a tedious thing for me to do. I really do enjoy doing it, and the reason for that is that it feels like it's a gift that you were given from God, because He was able to unlock so much for you to be capable of living here, affording to furnishing it and being in your own space, and even being able to do this where I'm sitting here speaking freely and creating, because it was one of the things that I just couldn't do at home. I could but couldn't. So we're gonna see what else I get up to. When I take care of this space, it feels as though I am nurturing the gift that God has given me, So I do feel like being here has centered me in realizing how blessed I am, how I'm living within a dream, how I'm living within God's grace, and this is the fruits of my faith, and believing that God can make anything happen. He can unlock any door. Yeah, that's a great thing that came out of me being here, and also just realizing that settling in is not as simple as that. I've taken zonke izinto zami that were in Durban and put them here and bought some things here. That doesn't make you settle in. It's about making a home or making good out of your current situation. And this is not a situation, this is a blessing. And one thing that I did notice when I moved was that I isolated quite a bit. So I am a social person, very social, love people, love hanging out with people. However, I also loved really being alone. And then I found that I just sunk into that I love being alone kind of thing. And I know it doesn't seem as though I isolate, but to be quite honest, most times in sebenza, and obviously it does seem like, oh, she's out and about, but I'm not really out and about being sebenza. Just not doing anything where I immerse myself within the people that I care about. And I think even that made me feel like quite sad, and like I'm not nurturing the relationships that I have. So I did isolate a bit, but within that isolation, I did grow to like understand where my head was at a little bit more, and then realizing that I actually have to make an active effort to build relationships, nurture them, and even create new relationships. So a good thing is that I've actually made a lot more new relationships, like new business relationships, or like strengthen existing business relationships, which has also just helped unlock even the fact that I'm shooting now, and zonke lezo zinto, like because I've made an active decision to try and see my friends, to try and visit them, to try and talk to them. It's just made life a lot better, a lot easier. I've met, strengthened, and grown relationships that have made my heart full. And getting a bit emotional now. But the people that I currently have in my life are great, you know. Inhliziyo yami igcwele uthando. The love I've been shown by the friends that I keep and the relationships that I'm currently forming, I have enjoyed myself greatly. Siyagroova, kumnandi, having a good time, and all of it within a good balance. You know, I feel welcomed, understood. I have an overwhelming sense of belonging, you know, like I belong in the certain friendship groups, business, and even acquaintance groups that I currently am in. And I just feel like I'm coming more and more into myself. I don't feel like there's people in my life currently who are pulling me away from my destiny, who I'm supposed to be, who are pulling me away from who I actually am. I don't feel like there's anybody leeching off me, sucking my blood dry, depleting me, you know. I just feel a renewed sense of energy, a renewed sense of love and belonging, and I'm at the perfect place to become even more obnono and owaziyo ukuthi they're a part of my life currently. I would like them to know that it's intentional, it's by choice, and ingoba uthando that you guys have shown me and continue to show me makes me feel like I belong. And that's been a very big part of how I've settled in here and felt like ngikona, I belong, and I'm here to stay. And I really truly appreciate the relationships that I currently have right now. I think I've grown so much in understanding who I am. Like I mentioned, I've isolated quite a bit, and with isolation comes, I suppose, a lot of introspection, retrospection, and just sort of sifting out things that have worked, things that haven't worked, and things that can make you better. And part of that for me has been self-care or self-caring more, sort of like a holistic form of self-care, where even the cleaning has formed a part of it. But even more than that, it's like getting out the house and running errands, because I've been cooped in the house for like 6 days. I just realized that I just formed certain habits where I was just like, you know what, Lento might make me feel good. And I think late imagine within the year. However, I think I sort of discovered that around September, and forming or strengthening some habits. I'm not gonna lie, eating better has helped me quite a bit, because I do recall sort of mentioning at some point Uguti, I basically like hate my body. Actually, I even think like I put it in a vlog that I then never edited and didn't like azangi keep it. So you know what, I think actually rather, let me insert that here and you guys can just watch it. I don't want to like repeat myself. So I really am actually trying to lose weight, and I think more than anything it's a thing of uguti. I've gotten to a point where like I just really hate my body, but like I also realized that my friends have been taking pictures of me, and I'm almost uncomfortable to take those pictures. When my friends offer, and that even being like a good gesture from them, I don't want to take the pictures, but it's also hard to say no, because umuntu is offering like ngenhliziyo enhle. So izolo like I end up tweeting ukuthi, because I also don't want to make my friends feel bad ukuthi oh mhlawumbe ngishuthe isithombe sibi, when it really isn't that. Yeah, it's it's literally nje, I just don't feel comfortable in my own body, and it's gotten to a point where I need to do something about it. I don't feel comfortable in the clothes that I have, nje, like luto. So I'll put the tweet up here actually, because after tweeting that, a couple of people sort of reached out to me about like being body positive or whatever, and that's fine as well, yeah, but it doesn't it does offer some form of comfort, because nami I do feel bad on bagging on my body, but at the same time, if I can do something about it, then why don't I? So yeah, like I mentioned, a large part of that was like self-caring via eating better or preparing my food better. And I've also recently started going on walks, and a huge pillar for that behavior has been Usiwe. As much as Usiwe is in Durban, but she helps hold me accountable. I feel like I'm doing this, and I'm doing it more so not for her, but like she just holds me accountable. I don't know how to put it. I mean, I do want to look better or whatever, especially because I hate my body. But even those small incremental like habits that I've formed do help me feel better, you know. And then it goes even into like grooming and the relationships I've formed there, you know, like with LM Naturals cornrowing my hair, and they're a natural hair salon, because I don't really care for my hair as well as I probably should. It's the wig dry bar, being able to just call them and be like, guys, can you come and fetch my wig and drop it off tomorrow, and having that. And then recently I did individuals for the first time at Prim and Papa, and then getting the most amazing service there, and then it's Sparkle doing my nails, and even like calling me up and telling me you need to come in and do your nails. Or like when I say that the relationships that I've formed and the people that are currently in my life are good for me. It's even like the service providers that I currently use right now. They're a literal family to me, you know, and they continue to help me feel better. And anything so issue is that, how do I put this? I'm living in abundance, if I can put it that way. And ngisho because I had this overwhelming fear of ukuthi I'm not going to be able to maintain my lifestyle and impilo yami having moved, because I'm going to have to penny pinch in certain places because this move is an added expense. Since I've moved, I'm almost constantly booked. So gratefulness God will always just make a way. I without those bookings and people trusting me and my work and my art and my capability, I probably would not be living my life the way I am without having to compromise opening, you know. So I've been blessed in that, like, God has made sure that I'm getting a lot more bookings, meaning that the move was not in vain, because I am making over and above what I even need, what's a necessity. I am working a lot more here than I was in Durban. So it was not in vain ukuzalana, because I'm literally seeing impilo yami move. I lost my train of thought. Bengi, how do I get here, child? Yes, I was mentioning self-caring because I am treating myself better, you know. I'm removing things from my life that don't give me joy, or that take away from me and don't fill me up. I've introduced habits that are good for me, even if they may suck a little bit in the short term. I know in the long run they're going to be better. Like spoiling myself, realizing that no matter what saying 500 rand because owami, and because my God never fails, he's gonna bring it back in abundance. And I'm still just working through that self-care bit where I just continue to do more good for myself, taking time out to rest, taking time out to see my friends, having actual self-care days, and lather my face in goodness so I can come on screen here and look this gorgeous. And for me to step out the house and people see and men see that I'm gorgeous, and that the only thing in fanele is good treatment. Why? Because I treat myself well. So if I'm treating myself well, why would you come into my life ubhidlize ungangiphathi kahle, ungangiphathisi ukweqanda leli engiyilona and engilidlayo? Do you hear what I'm saying? Hear what I'm saying, right? And within self-care, when I talk about rest, I'm also saying that at times I will vlog, give vlog. And then I realized, ben vlogela ba, mina no maning. And then I realized, which is not wrong, which is not wrong, right? But then sometimes we are figure vlog that I just didn't edit, right? And maybe sometimes it's because Infizoyami was not in that vlog, you know? And then I make memes like now, where I've inserted footage that you have never seen before, that was from vlogs that I may have been creating for you as opposed to for myself. and understanding that also rest means that I'm not a workhorse. I can't do my 9 to 5, come back, edit vlogs, edit client work from the weekends, and still function as Utando, you know. So there's always going to have to be something that must die, and it can't be me. It can't be me. Ayekho hawemuurhh ngingekho, yayibona leyo nto. Yikho vlog mengingekho. Akekho umuntu ozongishutela i-content mengingekho. So yeah. So I just wanted to, I guess, sort of reflect with you guys and just show you, see, this is where I'm at, this is where my head's at, and you know, I'm good. I'm going. I know that I said it's always a vlog and never writing or writing. And I am going to re-up a how-to channel. So I'm going to start utilizing that channel again to teach you guys how to create content, living within my purpose and stuff. Yes, so expect that and subscribe to that channel as well, please. So yeah, but saying nice chat, yeah. And we'll keep in touch, okay? Keep in touch. Vlog here and there, a sit down here and there, and maybe any vlog ekuthi enhlizweni yami mangi-edithe ngithi fa ngayo ngizothi fa ngayo. I'm just joking, but yes, I will see you guys pretty soon. And I do want to like create a few more like sit down videos and stuff like that. So just let me know what videos you guys would like to see as well, and I will fit that all in. And yes, thank you so much for watching, good people. I hope you subscribe. If you haven't already, you know, do all of that good stuff, like, share, etc. Stop dragging me on other socials, follow me on other socials, and yeah, good chat everybody. Catch up on my other videos, and I'll see you guys soon. Nah, shut up, babazani bo.